Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be talking about another co-op tactical shooter game which was recently announced at the Games Awards, Back 4 Blood. Developed by Turtle Rock Studios, known for developing the original Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood is scheduled to be released on June 22nd, 2021 on PC, previous and new-gen consoles. We got a gameplay trailer during the Games Awards and I wanted to deep dive into it, guessing the different core gameplay features we will get in the game. I am quite excited about this game because it is going to be another great one, mixing co-op, tactical gameplay, hero shooter and survival all in one game. So, without further ado, let's rewatch the gameplay trailer and then I will start analyzing the different keyframes. Here we go.
Not one for speeches, so how about we just go kill some Rick?
Nice pep talk.
Ah, damn. Here we go! Watch out! I got a bullet for you! And you! And you!
Hello.
Going in.
Oh, shit.
Go, go, go! Cover me, reloading! Thanks, Holly!
Get it through!
Need to finish them off and fast. Ah! Do these guys ever take a vacation?
Let's go!
Please, just die already! Evangela, watch out!
Alright, so that was pretty cool. Now let's deep dive into the trailer. And I want to start with what is to me the most important thing, authenticity. And I just want to say, right, after going through 2020, we all know that in the event of a pandemic or a virus outbreak, right, we would definitely not find that many toilet paper rolls in the corner left like this, right? So I just want to start with, they're clearly not going for realism, okay? So, because we would definitely, right, not find that many toilet paper rolls in the event of a virus outbreak, right? I just want to say that. Now, let's move on to the more interesting things. Okay, so we can see that we all start in the same room, and we can see that we can shoot through some of the windows. We can also see that zombies can attack doors. I don't know if this is going to be only at the beginning, as kind of like part of the atmosphere, or if this is going to be a feature where if you hide behind a door, then zombies will try to break the door by attacking it. We can also see that bullets will have pretty obvious tracers, and I don't really mind about that. I'm not really looking for realism when I play such games. I don't think it's a big deal to have obvious tracers. If anything, I think such obvious tracers usually make the gameplay feel more satisfying in a way. Weapon-wise, we can already see that we are using what appears to be a silver 1911. Then the other character is using a long barrel M14, which is pretty cool. And then the two other characters are using, so there's a shotgun, and the other one is using another handgun. It doesn't look like a 1911. I want to say it's a Glock, but I could be wrong here. It's pretty hard to see. Now at the back of the room we can see a bunch of crates. I am not sure if we can interact with them, but we can definitely see that there are items we can collect, most likely consumables. However, as the team is about to leave the room, we can see more weapon crates on the right, very briefly, but we can see a bunch of other weapons like a fire axe and what seems to be a 50 cal deagle. We can see other weapons as well. There is an AR that we can see really briefly before leaving the room, which I guess is one of the infos we can see in the reveal trailer and later on during the gameplay trailer. So I can only assume that each hero starts with their signature weapon, but all of them can also use all the weapons that you can find in the match or from the weapon crates. And I wonder if those weapons can only be found at the beginning of a match, or if you can find more weapons throughout the map as well. Okay, so then we saw them jumping out of the room and attacking a bunch of zombies. And obviously things got bloody a lot, so there's a lot of blood in this game. I don't know if this is obviously going to be the effects we are going to get in the final version. I would assume it would get polished a little bit more, but nevertheless it looks pretty cool still. So we saw them, or we saw the player using the pistol, reloading after 8 shots, so it's most definitely a 1911. And then we saw them switching to an AK, and that weapon had a rail and a red dot. So I'm not sure if we will actually be able to customize the weapons, although that would be pretty cool, as, you know, part of your account progression or hero progression or weapon progression system, you know, to be able to customize your weapons before getting into a match. So I don't know if that would be the case, or if the different weapons, especially ARs, DMRs, or other long weapons, come with predefined sights and mods. We can also see other characters using blunt weapons, so that is pretty cool as well. I would assume you will always be able to use a melee weapon in case you don't have ammo anymore. So shortly after that we can see handcrafted defenses, like base defenses, like wooden spikes and so on here, and I really wonder if we can use these to defend ourselves or to kill zombies. Like, I wonder if we kite zombies around those defenses to get damaged, or can we use a melee attack like a push or a kick to actually kill the zombies using those handcrafted defenses. That would be pretty cool. Okay, so here is an interesting zombie, since this one looks slightly different to the other one, with a clearly visible weak spot that you can shoot to deal maximum damage, and most special zombies have that, and we will see that in the trailer. But this zombie seems to be able to climb. This is probably the closest thing we would get to the jockey, although I don't think we see them jumping on survivors to control them. What we do see though is that they definitely climb, they definitely jump, and they have a ranged attack, but I don't know what it does yet. So another thing I noticed is this red dot from a laser sight that you see quite a lot in this trailer, and I think it comes from the M14 that we saw earlier, but I don't really know if this is going to be an attachment, if this is going to be for all weapons, if this is the only way for some weapons to aim when you're doing a hip fire, or if this is just a fancy way for you to know where other players are aiming, or maybe if it's just a display issue that they had when they recorded this gameplay trailer. I don't really know. I noticed it and I thought it was worth mentioning, because this could be related to the weapon modding I was talking about earlier, or, you know, it could just be nothing. And it's something we are not gonna see once the game is released. So next is the return of the boomer, which seems pretty fast and kind of charging the player in this gameplay video. Nonetheless, they look pretty epic, and I really like the art design and the effect when killing them, which I assume is going to be more than just visuals. I assume you should only do this, like killing them, when nobody is around it. Otherwise, you might actually kill some of your teammates by mistake. And I believe the explosion also kills nearby infected. It's pretty hard to see in the video, but I think we can see some zombies dying when they kill the second boomer. The range doesn't seem to be that big though, since Some of the infected that were not right behind the boomer but kind of like close enough still managed to survive. Then we see one of the key features of Back 4 Blood, Giant Infected, and this one seems to be like a tank but like the alpha version. And this one comes from Underground. I don't know if they will always be like this, I don't know if there will be different versions, I don't know if they will always appear at the same places, but I guess it doesn't really matter if you play in Rogue mode, because every playthrough will be different. But it looks really awesome. And again, very visible weak spots. And you can see that the player is using a grenade to stun them. So I think you can slow them down using explosives, but you will probably require a lot more firepower to take this one down. I would love if their weak spots could be randomized as well, so you have to work as a team to find out how to kill them. They can also make a path to get to you, so here in this gameplay video we can see them removing the barricade. And again, I assume there will always be some sort of a way for them to reach you, but I do hope it will be somewhat randomized depending on the map or maybe the game mode. Next we can see what appears to be something similar to the Charger, although it's using melee attacks mostly and can stomp the ground with its big arm, creating some sort of shock wave that will damage and push you away. You can see them charging a little bit, but it's more like dashing really. Just a way to get a little bit closer to you very quickly, but it still looks pretty awesome. And while they are fighting the Charger, we can also see sparkles here and there on some of the crates, so it does look like we will be able to find items while going through the map. Okay, so back to the giant zombie, we can actually see it going through one of the pillars, and I don't know if this is going to be scripted again or if this is going to be random, but I still find it pretty cool that it changes the map as it tries to catch up with you. It kind of puts this pressure on you that makes the gameplay more interesting. You're being chased by this giant alpha zombie that you clearly cannot kill with your weapons, you can only slow it down. And you have to deal with that while also fighting other zombies, special zombies, and while you also have to look after the rest of your team. So it kind of makes the match more interesting because you have this threat that is kind of like the end game of your match, but it's also a threat during the entire match. So it's really interesting to have those massive zombies. Obviously it's visually impressive, but it clearly makes the gameplay more interesting, at least in my opinion. Getting too close to these kind of zombies seems to be something you definitely want to avoid at all costs. As we could see in the gameplay trailer, the player gets caught by this giant zombie through the door, and I wouldn't be surprised if this leads to a direct, if not permanent, death of your character, which will definitely make those zombies super interesting. Team play is also going to be super interesting. We can see someone throwing a gas tank while another player shoots it, causing a massive explosion. And I don't know if this gas tank is going to be an item you can find on the map, or if this is going to be a character ability, which is something we haven't really seen in this gameplay trailer. We can also see we are using a deagle, and that we are playing on a completely different map. And this time we are not in the city, but in the forest. It looks more open, so I assume it will be slightly harder to manage the hordes of zombies. Weapon wise, we are now seeing an MP5 with a holographic sight this time, so I would definitely hope for a weapon customization feature. There's an M249 machine gun, M14 that we have seen earlier, and the classic but still very efficient Molotov, and obviously our favorite one, the fire axe. Game mode wise, we know there will be the co-op story mode, PvP mode, and a roguelike mode as well that will allow us to create different experiences. We will be able to craft custom decks, different builds for our characters, and so on. So Back 4 Blood will give us a lot of replayability and the chance to come up with very interesting strategies when playing with friends. You can actually register for a chance to participate in the upcoming closed alpha test on PC that will take place on December the 17th, so you don't have a lot of time to register. You need to visit the official Back 4 Blood website to register and get more information about it. I'm honestly quite looking forward to playing Back 4 Blood next year because this game is going to mix a lot of different styles that I like very much: co-op, tactical, and survival, plus zombies, which I really don't mind. And so this is it for this deep dive into the gameplay trailer of Back 4 Blood. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you are excited about this game, what kind of things you're expecting as well. I'm quite curious to know what other people think about this gameplay trailer and about this game in general, especially since this is developed by the guys who made Left 4 Dead. So this is it. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please consider leaving a like and to subscribe to support the Road Foundation YouTube channel, and I will see you next time.